Hi everybody, welcome to the Actors Academy. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about how to speak clearly and confidently. I've done a video on this before in the past, but I wanted to give you guys more of an updated version, especially for what you guys can use and implement in practicing today at home. Super easy to start with. The one thing that I do want you guys to realize is that with your voice, some people think it has to be 100% perfect, crisp, clear, all the time. And that's just not true. All of our voices have natural cadences in them. Your voice sounds different than my voice sounds different than my neighbor's voice, and we all have different ways of speaking within our speech. Our speech patterns don't always have to be perfect, but we do have to understand what the other person is saying. So for example, Michael Shannon and Johnny Depp, technically wise, their speech isn't 100% perfect, but we can understand what they're saying when they're speaking. And that's the important thing we have to realize. Even with all these different celebrity actors, is their speech always 100% perfect between all of them? No. But we can understand them. And that's the most important thing. And that's what you guys have to get. That's what we're going to be working with in this video, is how we can achieve that. What can you do to practice? Now, if your speech is already good and people can understand you, and you don't often get people coming up to you saying, "I'm sorry, what? Oh, I didn't hear you. What did you say? Can you repeat that?" then your speech is probably fine. You don't really have to try and adjust it, work on it, or change it. But this is for the people who actually get that a lot, get the comment of people saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Could you repeat that? Could you reword that?" or whatever they might say. And I got a few different comments on some of the previous videos of some people asking about this. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an updated version, what you guys can do. So without further ado, here we go. Point number 1, talk slower. Now, when I say talk slower, this doesn't mean go and talk super slow like a sloth, but slow down your rate of speech. If you're talking too fast, what happens is you tend to clip words. We tend to not have full sounds when we're speaking, and because of that, in that process of also talking faster, we have a harder time of understanding what you're saying and trying to keep up with the story you're saying, with the question you're trying to present, whatever it may be. The speed doesn't really help us. Now, in times in our life when we speak fast, of course, but we can't have our times when we're speaking fast and quick be 80 to 90% of the time, because then we can't hear what you're saying. So talk slower. Slow it down a little bit, but again, don't go and talk like a sloth where you're here and you're saying, "Hi, how are you? You are very nice." That would be way too slow to talk like that. Just find a middle ground. Don't talk too slow. Don't talk too fast. Find the middle ground. That's what we're aiming for. Point number 2, it's going to be to over-enunciate. Now, how the over-enunciation will work is you're going to implement it with these 2 different practices. In one is you're going to be using tongue twisters. The other one you're going to be using a book. Now, for the tongue twister one first, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below with some tongue twisters that you guys can go and look at and see which ones will work best for you, because naturally we don't usually have a bunch of tongue twisters off the top of our heads. So the link will be down there for you guys to look at, and you guys can find what tongue twister will suit you best. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, just as long as you pick one that works for you. So with this tongue twister, what you're going to do is you're going to implement that over-enunciation. So, for example, if it was Peter Piper picked a pair of pickled peppers, you will over-enunciate when you are saying that tongue twister. So, for example, it would be Peter Piper picked a pair of pickled peppers. Now, when you're going through this, though, what you don't want to do is you don't want to just do it that way, because we don't get the most out of our practice, because we still want to have our everyday normal speech in life, because we can't talk this way of over-enunciating if we're going out for an audition, if we're going on a date, if we're just talking with our friends, our parents, whatever. We don't want to go and talk like, "Hi, how are you doing?" That'd be very weird. But we're over-enunciating now, because as we over-enunciate, we start to let some of it bleed into our everyday speech, which means some of our everyday speech starts to become a little bit clearer over time as we practice it. Not in one day, but over time. So the best way, though, to implement and use this practice is to over-enunciate it. Do it 5 times, the tongue twister, 5 times over-enunciated, and then you're going to do it 5 times normal, but keeping that idea of still speaking clean, crisp, and clear. So, for example, if you had something that says, "and the cat went to the park," make sure you get that D in there when you're talking and you're trying to speak in your everyday voice, but you're not necessarily over-enunciating to the degree you're going, and the cat went to the park, because that's the over-enunciation portion of it. But for the other portion, the other 5, where you're starting to speak a little bit more normal, you're still trying to keep the idea of some of the last ending sounds that you're trying to hit, some of those key sounds, but you're not over-enunciating it like crazy. So you do 5 times over-enunciation, and then more 5 times normal, and you would go back and forth with that. Now, for the book, what you guys will be doing is you guys would just be over-enunciating what you guys are reading. So, for example, it could be, the cat went to the park. Then he went to the mall. I don't care what book you read. All you're doing is you're working on that process of going through and over-enunciating what you're saying. You're going heavy on it. So, ideally, what starts to happen is as you're going through and working in this way, naturally our practice starts to bleed in to our everyday life a little bit more. And from that process, we tend to speak a little bit clearer because our practice is starting to bleed into our everyday life. Now, for point number 3, what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be recording yourself. So you're going to be taking out your phone, you're going to be putting it up, and you're going to record yourself. Now, how it's going to work, you're using this recording as a way to judge how long you guys should be practicing every single day. Ideally, the times that I say are 30 to 60 minutes. Now, some of you will need just 30 minutes, some of you will need just 60 minutes. How you judge this is you record yourself day 1, and you pick about 5 lines that you're going to be saying to the camera, and these are going to be lines that you're going to be saying throughout the duration of this process of working on your speech. So, for example, let's say you find 5 lines. Doesn't matter if it's from a monologue, from a scene, from a book. I don't care what it is. You just have 5 lines. Now, you're going to record yourself, and you're going to be saying these 5 lines. Then, you're going to go and put the camera away. Now, you're going to be practicing for 2 whole weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, you're going to put the camera back out, and you're going to record yourself. And you're going to see the difference between the first recording to this second recording and see how much improvement have you had. Ideally, you're going to be starting with, in those 2 weeks, just doing 30-minute practices every single day. And you're going to see the results. Now, if you have good results, then you can stick with those 30 minutes. If you find the results to be just a little bit more so-so, then you can increase it to 60 minutes and you can find out. Because you don't have to over-practice it if you only need 30 minutes. But if you're doing 30 minutes and you need more practice, you want to build it up to 60 minutes. And that's what this process can help you with. It helps keep you honest, and it helps keep a timeline and a track record of how you're doing on the improvement when you're recording yourself. So I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with everything. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you guys. Also, I'll be leaving the 10-hour acting masterclass down in the description below and also in the comment section if you guys are interested in that. It takes about 2 minutes or so to sign up, as well as the 10 acting resume templates. Alrighty, see you guys next time. Bye guys.